flowers in. Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Caroline Stevens, Seeking the Truth. I've got some breaking news from the UK. It's 4 p.m. on Monday, the 11th of January, 2021. Prince Charles has been busy today. He's got a website called Sustainable Markets Initiative, and he made an announcement today. As part of the Sustainable Markets Initiative, HRH, the Prince of Wales, has announced today something called the Terra Carta, which is a charter that puts sustainability at the heart of the private sector. Now, this Terra Carta has been designed by Jony Ive, former Chief Design Officer at Apple, no less. HRH, the Prince of Wales' urgent appeal comes as he marks 50 years of campaigning for the environment. Marking a year since he announced his Sustainable Markets Initiative at Davos, the Terra Carta offers the basis of a recovery plan to 2030 that puts nature, people, and planet at the heart of global value creation. Nature comes first, it would appear. Speaking at the One Planet Summit in France today, Prince of Wales will unveil the Terra Carta, which is the Earth Charter, which provides a roadmap to 2030 for businesses to move towards an ambitious and sustainable future, one that will harness the power of nature combined with the transformative power, innovation and resources of the private sector. You can see where this is going, can't you? This is a UN agenda. Prince of Wales is making this urgent appeal to private sector leaders around the world, global, to join this endeavour and to give their support to the Terra Carta. Now, one of the actions will be initiated today in Paris with the creation of a natural capital investors alliance targeting $10 billion by 2022. Now, about this Terra Carta, well, its name comes from the historic Magna Carta, which inspired a belief in the fundamental rights and liberties of people over 800 years ago. And the Terra Carta aims to reunite people and planet by giving fundamental rights and values to nature, ensuring a lasting impact and tangible legacy for this generation. Well, I mean, how old is Charles now? And this is his baby. For nature, people and planet, this Terra Carta. Well, he's produced this foreword, which basically says the interdependence between human health and planetary health has never been more clear. As we start a new decade, it is time to focus on the future we wish to build and indeed leave for generations to come. Humanity has made incredible progress over the past century, yet the cost of this progress has caused immense destruction to the planet that sustains us. Whose fault is that, Charlie? This is the globalists. Okay, so he says we simply cannot maintain this course indefinitely. To build a productive and sustainable future, it is critical that we accelerate and mainstream sustainability into every aspect of our economy. To move forward, there must be a centre of gravity to catalyse such a monumental effort and to mobilise the resources and incentives required. Over the past year, through my Sustainable Markets Initiative, I have covered and convened with leaders from across industries and almost every sector and challenge them to identify ways to set our planet on a fundamentally more sustainable trajectory. Together, these outstanding business leaders have seized the opportunity to develop a charter of ambitious but practical action. This has all been arranged in the past year. Really? Don't think so. With these insights, I am launching this Terra Carta as the basis of a recovery plan for nature, people, and planet. At this historic tipping point, with the lives and livelihoods of present and future generations in mind, the Terra Carta aims to provide a roadmap for acceleration towards an ambitious and sustainable future, one that will harness the power of nature combined with the transformative power, innovation, and resources of the private sector. Time is fast running out, and we are rapidly wiping out through mass extinctions many of nature's unique treasure trove of species. Ooh, that's a bit close to home, isn't it, Charlie boy? With the World Wildlife Fund. Many of nature's unique treasure trove of species from which we can develop innovative and sustainable products for the future. Timelines for change must be brought forward. So we thought we had all that time. If we have to make a transformative shift by the end of the decade and before it is too late. Over the coming years, my Sustainable Markets Initiative will report on and update the Terra Carta regularly in order to reflect the rapid pace of change and the continuous progress being achieved around the world. If we consider the legacy of our generation, more than 800 years ago, Magna Carta inspired a belief in the fundamental rights and liberties of people. As we strike to imagine the next 800 years of human progress, the fundamental rights and values of nature must represent a step change in our future of industry and future of economy approach. So with this in mind, nature, of which we are an integral part, lies at the heart of the Terra Carta. So basically, it's all about nature. It's all our fault. And the globalists are going to put the matter right. Today must be the decisive moment that we make sustainability the growth story of our time. To help us succeed and to complement global efforts across public, private and philanthropic sectors, I am calling on chief executive officers from around the world to engage and play their part in leading the global transition to guarantee our future. I guess he means his future and the globalist future. We have no other choice but to make each day count, and it must start today, the 11th of January 2021. Now, there's a whole raft of legalese stuff on the computer, but this is a shortened version, believe it or not. And he goes on to say something really quite strange. He uses the word local in inverted commas. He says we must recognise the importance of local traditions, languages and cultures, along with local products, jobs and sustainability, and how these locals connect and support each other in the wider tapestry of regional and global systems. So I think the gloves are off now. I think we've got to understand that we don't have national borders anymore. This is a global new world order starting today, And this is going to be a living, breathing document, he says. And it will be updated every year. So the aims of the Terra Carta will be met by firstly furthering and, where possible, exceeding the goals and targets outlined in the Paris Climate Agreement. The Sustainable Development Goals, oh, that sounds like the United Nations to me, the Convention on Biological Diversity, the Convention to Combat Desertification, and the UN Convention on the Law of the Sea. They're going to be broadening the definition of sustainability. Now, this is really crucial because he basically says they're going beyond simply net zero transition. And this is going to be inclusive of nature, people, planet, equality, and prosperity. It wants to support the protection and restoration of a minimum of 30% of biodiversity on land and below water by 2030 and 50% by 2050. They're making global investment and financial flows consistent with a pathway towards low greenhouse gas emissions, climate resilient development, and natural capital biodiversity restoration on land and below the water. They're going to be encouraging coordination, cooperation, and cohesion within corporate and public-private philanthropic domains. So this is the reason why the governments all need to eradicate all but the large global corporations. This is land grab time, because we are going to be put on the same footing as the third world countries. He says the Terra Carta recognises that no one action, industry, or actor is in itself sufficient to solve the climate and biodiversity crisis. A multitude of actions, initiatives, and investments are necessary. This needs sharing, people, because this is now your proof to your friends and family that the new world order is here to stay. And this Terra Carta is Prince Charles's baby. They head this United Nations New World. They're part of it with all the globalists. And this is on top of everything else we're having to cope with as well. So please do share. This is the Terra Carta. It's been announced by Prince Charles today in Paris. Have yet to determine whether he went in person. But this is quite clear to me that they now want to take, they're talking about it. They want equality and prosperity throughout the globe. So they're coming for the land. Thanks for watching and listening. I'm supposed to be going live as well at 8 o'clock with Chris or Eric von Essex on his show. If you've got any questions, if I get a chance, I'll have a look at them before I go on the show, and maybe it's something I can cover later. But this is really serious. This means that whether you've got pensions, a house that you own or that you think you own, it's going to impact the vast majority of us. Okay? So, This is the 11th of January 2021. Is this a significant numerological date, I wonder? Okay, goodbye for now. I'll see you later. Bye.